Hello, everyone. Welcome to this not at all Sunday pub. It's a spontaneous birthday pub. It's my birthday. I don't care about birthdays really at all. I haven't for a long time, but I thought it would be nice to get together with a bunch of friends. And we don't need to celebrate my birthday. We can just hang out. That's fine. Welcome, everybody. Colton is drinking. So am I. I haven't been drinking at all for months, really, like at home anyway. But I thought for a birthday stream, I happened to have accidentally a really good bottle of wine that a friend brought over and left here. So
that's no accident.
No, it proved to be very fortuitous. Hi, Anita. Yeah. Hi, Jerome. Hi, everybody. How are you all doing, and why are you not working? I mean, you on screen.
I'm a mom.
I know you're a
mom. But my husband has the day off today because tomorrow is my son's birthday. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. No, I actually have a story why I'm able to be here today. Our school starts at 9 a.m. and at 9:30 our principal came on the loudspeaker. We got dismissed at 9:30 this morning. There was a storm that blew over a power pole, and a transformer was apparently in the creek right behind our school. Ooh. And they said, well, it's going to take all day. We actually just got a text that they just got the power back on, so it was out for like 5 hours or something like that. So wow. Kids, of course, were very excited to be able to have a 30-minute day and then go home. So, but
you know how much I had to
almost
pay?
As excited.
You know how much I had to pay to organize that storm? It wasn't easy.
Yeah. No, I just got home from work about an hour ago. So
cool.
Ready to roll.
Ida is also having a glass of wine. Where she and I live, it's 10 p.m., so she's not working. Esme's here. Hi. Aslan's here. Daniel's here. Apparently drinking at work. Ron's here. Peter's here. Hi, everybody. It's always funny with these things. Like, you organize something really spontaneous like this, and I'm always like, I may be sitting there by myself. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. But Britain's here. Thank you, Britain. Yeah. No, I spent... It doesn't really sound like a particularly exciting or interesting birthday. I spent most of the afternoon. I've been actually a bit clogged up and coughing and stuff, so I wasn't at work. And I spent most of the afternoon trying to make something work for my gaming channel. I started a new channel where I'm doing video games, and it's so annoying. The game I'm playing has a nighttime view. Like, you go through days, and at nighttime things are dark, but they're visible on my TV. But when I pull the recording through a capture card from my Xbox to my laptop, almost everything's black, like totally black. It doesn't look anything like my TV at all. And it's really annoying, and I haven't fixed it yet. And the Bell's here, the one and only Brian Bell.
Hey, happy birthday, Matt.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
We're not getting couch, Brian? I'm offended.
I'm a little disappointed as well. Brian's trying to be high class on a spontaneous stream.
I don't know. It's a 33% Minnesota stream. So I'm very happy about that.
There you go. Should I be offended that you're cross-promoting another person's BookTube channel?
It's not my own. I mean,
that's true. Well, your presence promotes your own.
I mean, I literally had the one for the road jersey on 5 minutes ago, and I said, That's a bridge too far. I cannot do this to Matt. I will just pimp Mike's channel instead.
I'll just pimp Mike's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean,
Because he
Mike-
needs the promotion.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys,
Get him,
His
get him
little-
some subs.
you guys, he's
Yeah.
down to 125,000 subscribers.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
my heart is bleeding,
That's painful. Poor little beginner booktuber.
right?
No, I don't mind you promoting him at all. He and Jimmy and Joanna and I think AP were like the first channels I ever saw. Well, actually, Daniel Green, of course, was the first channel I ever saw. And I went, does anyone do this who's anywhere near my age? And looked around until I found someone that annoyed me slightly less. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have this also on because I'm about 2 hours away from having to put on the suit and tie to do the whole live stuff that I do. So I'm
Right.
enjoying a little casual afternoon wear.
Speaking of which, when this is over, go over to Brian's channel. Because he has a For Whom the Bell Tolls
I do.
coming on in a couple hours.
I do. 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. I always get confused because I always think everyone in America lives on the East Coast, don't they?
If you ask the people on the East Coast, they'd say sure. Yeah.
Well, and that's part of the problem is I'm from the East Coast in America. So it's not the East Coast, it's the coast.
it's true.
So yeah, I always think EST times, and I forget that you Minnesotans are an hour off that.
Yeah.
Texans too.
Texas
Yeah.
too. That's right. You're in Texas. Yeah, I know. Well, and that's the other thing is also with BookTube, you often it's all kind of virtual, so I never really have much of a feeling for like where people are. You know.
Mhm.
You know what we need is like one of those big walls of clocks that has like all the booktubers that we watch.
Exactly.
And then it's just, set to whatever time it is there. Perfect.
It would be cool if we could have like a little clock up in the corner of our screens that shows what time it is where we're at.
That would be cool. I bet someone could program a little plugin for
Oh, for sure.
one of
Probably
these
sit down,
streaming
yeah.
things.
Especially for the pub, because you get people from Europe, you sometimes get people from
Yeah.
Australia. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I bet
It's-
you
it's
Sylvia
very
from
all over.
Library Unbounded could do it. She knows that stuff.
Yeah,
Ask
I mean the pub is about as international as it gets because we've had Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, all over America. I don't know if anyone from Asia has ever joined, but I think there was somebody in South America at one point joined once anyway.
I hear you're big in Japan.
I'm huge in Japan,
Yeah.
just like Tom Waits.
Yeah.
Dan, poor man, is working. He said he couldn't make it, but it's cool that you showed up in the chat, Dan. Good to see you.
What's up, Dan? What's up?
Hawaiians are usually left. Are you a Hawaiian, Capricious Fox? I have no idea where you are.
We're
I
all
know the
jealous.
name from the pub, but yeah. So how are you five lovely people doing? Oh, actually, before we forget, I will announce it. Evie can say more. If you haven't already heard, Evie's lovely, lovely dog Max, who often appears in her videos.
Anytime I'm on screen, anywhere.
Yeah, basically anytime she's on screen anywhere. Hi, Joe. She has a little problem with Max. Max is a bit sick. It's pretty serious and therefore pretty expensive. So if you would like to help Evie out, no pressure, but Evie's a wonderful friend of ours and the most generous person I've ever met on BookTube. So if you would like to give some back, there is a link in the description of this video where you can donate some money towards Max's medical bills. Evie, if you'd like to say more.
Without crying, not guaranteed. Yeah.
You don't
so-
have to.
Yeah, no, essentially, so long story short, they've narrowed it down to either inflammatory bowel disease or it's lymphoma. And we are pursuing an endoscopy and biopsy to determine either of the two scenarios. He's hospitalized with the Tufts Vet, which is our local teaching hospital. He's been there since yesterday. He's had a couple of visits to the ER over the long weekend. Went to our regular vet on Monday, and then he was hospitalized Tuesday night, and he'll be there tonight, and then probably tomorrow night as well. I'm hoping he will be able to come home on Friday, because already levels are starting to improve, and they are able to remove IV fluids, and he's drinking on his own, which is great. So even if you can't financially contribute, which I totally understand, if you could just keep him in your thoughts, so that'd be great.
Yeah, I get you. I just I had my dog's spleen removed last month.
Ooh.
And, she did great. Fortunately, it was negative. It was wasn't cancerous, so it was. But it had to come out.
What is the spleen used for? Maybe you know that now, Jared.
It filters blood and stuff. But it's not. You can live without it. So, fortunately, she's doing great.
It's not the liver.
Yeah, not the liver. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Indeed.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
How you doing, man? Have you got a new
Happy
office?
birthday.
Thank you.
This is my forever home, I guess. So yeah, I still need to clear up the shelves and unbox things and put out books and stuff. But this is the actual house. I'm not homeless. I've been homeless for 10 years. I haven't had a place, but now my wife and I finally we got a place together. So now I'm on the deed and everything.
Nice.
It's very exciting. So yeah.
Does that mean now that you've got a gray beard and all, you're finally actually a grown up?
I'm getting well. I bought a house before. I just lost it in the divorce. So
yeah.
So that's a different kind of not being a grown up. It's more like being that stereotypical middle aged. The man who all my furniture was from IKEA.
Yep.
You know exactly the image that
I've been that guy.
Yeah. So I was that guy for 12 years. So,
I was smarter than you though. I got married and divorced when I was still poor. So there wasn't really anything for either of us to take from each other.
Yeah.
Except CDs back in the
I
day.
should have thought of that. I should have done that separation before I had anything. But
exactly.
I was late. So
yeah. Bad planning.
Very sad. Bad planning.
Oh,
I will say that simultaneous to my screen being small, and also I don't have my glasses on, I thought the railing behind you was just one of those giant keyboards, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Now that you say that, that looks like a piano keyboard. You're right. Now I can't unsee it.
Totally.
There's I'm on the top floor, so there's the living room down there and our Christmas tree. My wife loves Christmas despite not being Christian. So we have a Christmas tree and lights everywhere. No Christians in the house, but she loves the holidays. So
it's a non-denominational holiday tree.
Yeah. She's like, where should I put the Hanukkah decorations, Joe? I'm like, I don't care.
Joe. We're gonna need to bring you in.
Need to have a Jew talk.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I was gonna say the Christmas tree can double as
a little sit down here, Joe.
Yeah, it can double as the Hanukkah decorations this year, since Hanukkah starts on Christmas.
Yeah.
In all fairness to Joe, our holidays totally suck. So I mean, I get it. We have the worst stupid holidays ever. So
I can absolutely relate, Joe, because I'm a Buddhist. My ex-wife is a Buddhist. And in our flat, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's nice when they're up, but I couldn't really be bothered. And she was always like, no, it's Christmas, and because she comes from not really even a very Christian family. They're not religious, but they're not Buddhists. And they always had this very traditional German Christmas with real burning candles on the tree and, really, really big deal in their family. And she was like,
it's
no,
not
it's
a holiday
Christmas.
if there's no fire hazards, right?
Well,
My house would be burnt to a crisp so fast.
Americans always say that. And me, an American, the first time I walked into her family's house, her parents' house, my in-laws, for Christmas, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like their tree was gorgeous, but it just had these little thin candles all over it, lit. And it's just normal for them. Not a big deal. Look who it is. Nobody with the name
Hey.
Anitha.
Yay!
Anita.
Anitha, would you like to
Joe, I only said that because I'm jealous. I want a
Okay.
Christmas tree.
uncover your camera?
Wait,
You can have
wait.
one, Brian.
Just a minute. I'll be back.
Anita went from blurry Anita to crisp and clear Anita to ghost
Gone,
Anita.
Anitha. Yeah. No, it's Christmas in her family was a very big deal. Oh my God. They even sing together at the Christmas dinner table and burning candles on the tree and everything. It's nuts.
I was going to show you, but the cord won't reach.
Show us what?
My Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
like 5 feet plastic. It's exciting,
Oh wow.
but sorry.
Is it IKEA?
I don't even know. My wife bought it. I wasn't involved. She's like, I'm getting a Christmas tree. Okay, I'm getting a wreath. Go for it, honey. It's all good.
Colton's giving us romance advice.
Life advice.
Yeah, no, Colton. Since my divorce, I've done a lot of that. I'm well practiced in the art of living with people and not marrying them.
I think Aslan asked earlier, what is everyone reading?
Oh, we're going to talk about books?
Yeah. You know.
All right. I can't find the comment. Maybe because I've been drinking wine. But what is everyone reading?
Considering everything, probably the wrong idea.
Oh,
but
wow.
Fool's Errand.
Are you sure you want to do that right now?
You know, I'm only 12 pages in, so it's fine.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
And
Storm Fortress.
the
January.
Which one is
voice.
that?
That's book 8 in the Wars of Light and Shadow.
I'm
Wow.
going to unmirror your camera so that it actually reads correctly. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can do that for
I don't
other
know
people?
how
I
to
didn't
do that.
realize
I
that.
can. In the top right of your pictures, I can.
Oh look at that.
There you go.
There
Yeah.
you go. Cool.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I actually just spoke with Jenny today, or texted with Jenny today,
Oh nice.
and was thinking it's still very vague and being worked out, and I want to get the timing right, especially with the Jenny read-along extravaganza that's coming up in January. But I really liked doing the Adrian Tchaikovsky interview,
Oh yeah.
and I liked the format with like 4 people and him. I really enjoyed that. And I wrote Jenny and said, hey, you want to do that with me and some other people? And she said, of course. So that'll be coming up at some point. We'll see
That was a good
Yeah.
interview.
when.
She's good for that too. She's really
She's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
She seems like someone you could talk to for like days.
Yeah.
Without any problem. And she's also like, everybody always says I've done a lot in my life, like I've traveled a lot and that kind of thing. I'm always so fascinated with people where I'm like, oh my God, you've done a lot, you know? And she's one of those people. Like,
A ton.
She's one of those authors who really wants to be appreciated for the craft, right? She wants to communicate and interact with people who appreciate like the levels of what she's done and accomplished more than she cares about the business. Because
Yeah.
she's doing these things that are not giving her sales and numbers commensurate to the hours she's spending on them, right?
Yeah.
And I think and I mean, Brandon Sanderson's not doing that, and I get why he's not, right? He's got a much different enterprise, but I think she really values that connection in a way that other people don't spend time on, or I don't know.
well, and also
Okay,
I just love the idea of, I wanted to write a book that had something to do with ships, so I went and learned how to sail and sailed around the world and that kind of shit, you know, like,
Yeah.
and she's got lots of those kind of stories. So I'm really looking forward to talking to her in real. And
It's cool.
here's an
Hey,
actually visible this time.
so clear.
Thank you. You know, I was waving like this. Matt was completely ignoring me. But Today is Matt's birthday. I can't yell, so I have to forgive
And
him.
you owe me anyway because I included you in the Tchaikovsky thing. You said you're going to owe me forever, so no complaints from an ether for
So,
once.
yeah. I mean, but I did put limit
hold your
on that.
breath.
Like, you are excused for like 3 wrong things. 3.
That's right. Yeah, I have 3 free holy wars that I can just skate past.
3 free strikes.
Yeah. So we were on. What are you reading?
Oh. Belly of the Bow. This is
Cool.
Fencer Trilogy Book 2 by KJ Parker.
Of course.
And don't ask me how is it going. From past weekend, that means it's been 4 days, I read like 20 pages, 25 pages. So, but it's nothing wrong with the book. Obviously, it's
We all
wrong
know
with
it's
me.
an Anita problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
KJ Parker's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to
Anyway.
be Paul Lind. Sweet.
Yeah, look at that.
There's like 4 of you know what I'm talking about, maybe 5.
So what's everybody else reading? We weren't all the way through. I'm still reading this. That's why I'm not talking about it. I'm still reading City of Lost Chances.
How far
And
into it are you? Or how much? have you-
I'm pretty. What is that? 3/4.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm making progress just slowly because I've been extremely focused for the last week on starting my new channel, which is all about gaming, and there's technical challenges and stuff. So I haven't been reading as much as I could. Anyway.
Cool.
Tori, what are you reading?
I am reading Northanger Abbey currently,
Oh, wow.
and I'm 2/3 of the way through and having a great time with
Is
it.
Mr. Thorpe still the worst?
I have had so many visceral reactions to the characters in this book, you guys. Like,
In a good way. In a good way, right?
well, yes, like she's very good at writing some of the most insufferable characters to ever disgrace a page of fiction. And also a like adorable cinnamon roll protagonist that must be protected at all costs. So it's a very strange emotional roller coaster that's happening right now. But it's very good.
Cinnamon roll protagonist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Josh,
Expression.
what are you reading?
I am about 100 pages into Howling Dark by
Oh,
Christopher
wow.
Rocchio.
Okay.
So yeah, not
What do
real
you-
far into it, but
What are you thinking?
it's interesting because there's a big time jump between the first 2 books, but
I was
so
gonna
far
say,
so good.
I was gonna say, Josh, the first 5 pages where you're like, what's going on here?
Well, so there's one I bought the Empire Silence, the Diamond Edition, and there's a short story that fills in a lot of the things that happened between those 2 books. So I wasn't totally confused.
Okay.
Which?
so-
Oh, there's a short story, not one of the novellas.
Yeah, no, it's called
Okay.
the Guns of Pharos, and it tells all the things that happened
Okay.
on that planet that is kind of alluded to. So I think it was probably I didn't have the same experience as everybody else. at the
Because
beginning of that book.
there's a novella. I'd have to go to my bookshelf to remember what it's called. I think it's called The Devil's Due or something, which is
Lesser Devil.
A Lesser Devil. Yeah, exactly. Which is also between kind of those 2 books, but it deals totally with his brother.
Yes,
And
I
not
did
with
read
him.
that one too.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, that short story, it did tell a lot, and you can
Yeah.
see how he alludes to all of it. But having seen it, it wasn't from Hadrian's perspective,
Right.
which I don't know if any of the short stories or novellas are, but no, it was good, and
one of
I
them
love
is.
that I posted on the Discord last night. I read a passage where Hadrian admitted that he can be melodramatic. So
What
I love
do you
that.
mean
I love
Hadrian
that
admitted
awareness.
that he like he says that every 100 pages all the way through the entire series. I know I'm melodramatic, but
Yes, you are.
and then
I'm
he says
actually-
something really melodramatic.
I'm really excited to find out what Tori thinks of this series. I've never I generally feel like I can get a read on what I think someone's going to like or not, and I am so mixed that if Tori will like this or not.
Yeah.
I'm so I can't. I could.
You're gonna find out next year.
It could easily be one of her favorites all time, and it could just as easily be no. This is not for me at all. Yeah. We'll find out
It's
next year.
also. I think
next time I'll wear my Tory Talks merch. Give me a beanie, and then I'll pimp your.
So
pimp
here's
your
the thing,
channel.
you guys. I have actually been trying to get beanies done for merch for the last year. I cannot find a beanie like a stock beanie that I'm happy with, because they're either too small, they're not soft enough. Like if we're gonna do beanies, they're gonna be good beanies, right? It's been a nightmare trying to
A
find
beanie you would wear.
exactly.
a quality beanie
That's right.
worthy of Tory talking.
There will be no subpar beanies on my channel merch.
No, and I appreciate it. I mean, a lot of lesser YouTubers would they go with any old beanie. Like exactly. If it would make money, Brian would put his logo on any crappy beanie.
No doubt.
But
I just got my over the hill hat here.
Standing up for some quality.
This is for Matt.
Okay, I was going to say, can you send that to me? I'm officially. I think the hill ends at like 55ish.
Yep.
And I'm over that now. So yeah.
And also the hearing enhancer. You got to have that too.
Excellent.
Never fails. No batteries required.
Perfect.
Got all that stuff on my 50th, so I figured I'd bring it out for you.
I appreciate it. I'm with you, Brian. I couldn't bet on what Tori would think of it either. It's a weird series because more than most series I've ever read, I wouldn't say that it's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the books, not all of the books, but there are books like the fourth book is super different than the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And there were books that I was like, I really am not super into this. And there were other ones where I was like, I read this in 2 days. I was hooked, and it's very sort of back and forth, up and down kind of series. So it's very hard to estimate what anyone will think of it.
For me, it's like 2, 3, and 6 kind of fit together thematically, and they read similar. One is sort of on its own, and 4 and 5 are very much alike for me. So yeah, cool.
Very curious. So who haven't we had?
Series are hard.
Says the author.
I'm
as if he would know.
I'm reading
I
2
agree.
of my own books because I'm revising 2. I'm finishing book 6 and I'm rewriting book 2. So that's a lot of, and I'm reading a lot of these. Do you guys ever read manhwa? I don't know if you can see it on my phone, but these are Korean comics, and they're formatted.
Sure.
They're formatted for your phone, which I find fascinating. So it's a long vertical strip. It's not. It was never meant to be printed. But it's meant to be read on a phone. And it's a whole medium. And I'm reading Tower of God, which is phenomenal, flawed but phenomenal, incredibly creative, and super long. Like the person's been basically releasing a chapter or 2 a week for, I don't know. I was reading and I was like really far into it. I was like, when was this released? Like 2017. I'm like, oh boy. So, more than 10 years worth of a backlog to get through. Wow. So that's enjoyable, but there are things in there I want to use in the hybrid helix. So I'm like, I have to do my research.
Okay, cool.
It's been taking me a month.
This is for Aslan.
Oh, nice. That's
Evie
pretty.
is showing off her new fresh copy of Days of Shattered Faith.
Those are such pretty books.
I got
the
a
second
shelf
one.
copy and a reading copy. So
I've got that one, the special edition signed thing. It should be here any day, I think.
Goldsboro? No, Waterstones?
No, it's Goldsboro.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am reading very slowly. Like, I don't know what's happened to me in the last 2 months, but like my reading pace used to be just incredibly fast, and it has just dropped down. Hey, Chris.
Navo! Chris. Good to see you, man. It's been a while.
It's just dropped. I don't even know why. I am reading The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell, and it is awesome. I am about 60% done, which means I've only got about 150 pages left, and trying to get it done before the Sanderson effect hits on Friday, which I don't think would be a problem. But it's really good. So if anybody hasn't read Bernard Cornwell, wow, guys, just out of the park good. Warlord was fantastic last year, and This is I don't know anything about it because I never watched the TV show.
Is
So
Uhtred indeed the son of Uhtred? Who
that's
is indeed the son of Uhtred?
sort of. I mean, in
Sorta,
all
kinda.
reality, no. But you'd have to read and find out on that one in the prologue why he's named Uhtred in the first place, which is
It certainly makes for long introductions.
right. Yeah. But I mean, the guy is just so good. He's so skillful at writing that, it'd be pretty tough for me to pick up any one of his books and find too much that I didn't like about it. So it's really good. I like it. Hopefully
trying
done
to-
in the next day or two.
I'm trying to remember the visuals in Brady Bunch, but does that make me and Tori the mom and dad?
No, Tori is the dad. Jared's the mom. You're Marsha.
That's right.
I'm Jan. Anitha is.
Finally, I get to be Marsha.
Oh my God, what's her name? I can't remember the youngest daughter's name.
Cindy.
Cindy. There you go. And then Greg. Oh my God, Peter. Bobby.
Am I Alice?
You are Alice.
Sweet. Alice Cooper.
Seems fitting.
Alice Cooper all the way, baby.
I'm so glad I remembered all those. Oh my God, I pulled that out of nowhere.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
I never could have done that.
Never.
I watched hours and hours of it when I was a kid, but I couldn't. My memory's garbage.
Evie is like IMDb trivia. So we are watching Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell in Discord like every Tuesday, each episode. She keeps writing out like trivia stuff. Oh, this actor is in that show. Oh, this actor is from that movie. Continuous running commentary.
What Anitha doesn't see is me Googling to make sure that I'm
IMDb.
right before I message anyone
Yeah,
about
of course.
So now I'm
We could do
wondering,
that.
wasn't the Brady dad an architect? I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How the hell
definitely.
did they afford a live-in maid?
Well, he ran his own firm. He was a partner
Okay.
in an architecture firm, I believe. He wasn't
Yeah.
just like the guy who was drawing toilets.
Yeah, I guess, but still, I mean,
Some
You can
architects make good money.
have a one-income household back in those days. Though.
with maid.
Yeah, but I'm sure the dead spouses had tons of life insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
They had
Yeah,
I mean-
there you go.
Alice was
Oh my
also
God.
an indentured servant. She wasn't a maid.
Oh, fair enough. You know what? We need like the real story of the ex-spouses of the Bradys.
She borrowed
The
some money from Mr. Brady and she couldn't pay it
Unsolved
back.
mystery. Yeah,
That's how she got her job, basically. Yeah.
makes sense. They had both absconded with all the children. Got it.
It's okay, Adza. Even I did not see that. That's a very American show.
To be fair,
It's a very American show, yes.
for my age group, although I've seen a handful of the original episodes, my Brady Bunch is the like parody movie that they did in like the 90s or whatever with Ben Stiller's wife, Christine
Stiller?
something. It's not her, Christine Taylor as Marsha. So,
Okay. I have never even heard of that,
oh
but
my God, okay.
I'm a lot older than you are. So I watched the original quite regularly. Yeah, it was typical sort of late 70s cheesy sitcom.
I think I know what Evie. I know what
Family
Evie's talking about. It's like
thing.
a movie. I think it was. It wasn't a TV show. It was like.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yeah, no, I have
Show
heard
on
of
your
it.
movie, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Okay.
1995.
Evie, IMDb trivia woman.
I literally have.
Yeah,
You
Wikipedia
literally
out.
just Googled that. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't think you had that on top of your head. Alicia likes the 90s movies. She also said that the Doctor Strange and Mr. Norrell adaptation is really good. I'd like to. I didn't even realize there was one. I'd like to watch that because the book was pretty awesome.
My
No,
husband's
never.
reading it right now.
I'm stunned about Susanna Clark. I can't even begin to imagine what she would write next because she wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and it was interesting, but it was slow. you know, and it was meant to be, and it was written in a very historical style and all of that. And then she wrote Piranesi, which is like, they're just two so ultimately different books, but both really good, you know? So
Yeah, that's the beauty of the standalone. You know, no one's, smashing on our doors saying, where's the follow-up sequel book? So, it's been, I mean, I don't even know how many years it was between those two books, but
many.
has to be
20.
a decade at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
20.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take the hint, Joe.
Standalones, baby. I mean, it's, the fantasy market would love more standalones too. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I tried.
Hey,
I have her Susanna Clarke's Ladies of Grace Adieu, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Ladies of Grace Adieu, which is a short story collection. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm very interested because she's awesome and just like stunningly diverse in how she writes.
It's so the Ladies of Grace Adieu is set in the same world as Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. And I actually just read The Wood at Midwinter, which is also it's a short story that was published physically, so you paid almost $20 US for a short story, but it's very sweet. It's also set in the same world. But sorry, anyway, go ahead.
since Joe is here, yesterday I received a gift for Christmas. I want to show it off. That is Shadow of Hyperion.
Oh,
Fourth
nice. Fourth
So,
book. Thank you.
I
That's the next
haven't
one
read-
on my list too.
Sweet.
I
Thank you.
haven't even finished book 2. That is a big crime after how much I loved Wishful Ascending. But this is a motivation. I need to catch up.
We should.
Yeah.
Once you finish book 2, let me know because I'm just about to go into book 3. So
You
And,
won't believe this. When you guys know Sarah, right? Sarah Reeds.
Mm-hmm.
So she visited me last month. She came here for a Taylor Swift concert. So when I went to meet her, I took my Wishful Ascending copy to give it to her to read. She said she gifted that to her husband for last Christmas. He read it already and she read it. They both loved it.
She read it.
Yeah.
I was
They-
very excited when her husband read it because I was like, I like her takes on books. I know her. I mean, I know her from watching her. I don't mean I know her personally. And I was like, I really want to know what she'll think of the book because that's how I think all authors are like that, right? And then her husband read it, she's like, I might get to this at some point. And I'm like waiting, and I'm watching her videos. Nope. Okay, you can't bug them, right? You can't. By the way, Sarah, like,
Read my
you can't do
damn
that.
book.
Yeah, you can. You just sit and wait very patiently. I didn't realize she ever read it. That's really cool. I haven't seen a video of hers in a while. I think.
I was gonna say, to be fair, she
less
hasn't done a
active.
video in almost a year.
Yeah.
So
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember
Which is,
seeing. I don't remember her
That's so
talking about the
sweet.
book. I felt so. I was like, I'm happy that you like this. You both like this book, but I am sad that
Aw.
I am not the one who introduced this book to you. You know.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet. That's really sweet.
Damn you for having
Yeah.
read it. I couldn't introduce you to it.
that's like me with
Oh.
Spear Cuts Through Water. There you go. I didn't mention on stream at least once.
I want to get to the second book as well. It's on my. I sort of have a list of, because I read a lot of chunky books that are sometimes a bit heavy. I have a list of books that are like, okay, this is funner and lighter and a better mood kind of book than a lot of the things I read. And it's on
palate
that
cleanser.
list. It's definitely on that list. But yeah.
Someone wrote palate cleanser in a Discord I'm on, and they spelled it PALLET, and I stared at it for like half an hour. I'm like, that's not right.
Turpentine. Turpentine is a palate cleanser.
it is, but it's not.
Off so much. And I finally was like, oh, okay, I get the problem. Different kind of palate.
I studied painting. It's turpentine. Is what they were
If I
talking about.
if I can chime in on that, because I think Joe's books 1 and 2 I would classify as a palate cleansers, but not book 3. I think Joe gets into more deep theme stuff. And I mean, it's still light, it's still fun, but the characters definitely have character arcs, and it is not just palate cleanser stuff. So
Even
I-
book
I-
one
it-
has
I was
serious
gonna say book
themes,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
genocide. We do hear about
Genocide.
that.
Serious themes like genocide. Yes, that is a serious theme. Correct.
Because people will say like, "Oh, it's like a slice of life," and I'm like, "It is," but there's also a little genocide going on.
It's
and
a
war
slice of
crimes, and I'm like,
genocide.
people like, yeah,
rough
yeah,
life.
a little bit.
Colton,
you.
Sarah mentioned that you are the one who recommended her Wishful Ascending. I'm happy, but at the same time, you're in competition now.
I don't actually like the phrase palate cleanser unless you are actually talking about turpentine. It always seems like a bit of a put down to me. Like this is not a book to take seriously. And what I mean is,
Your rebound book.
after reading Live Ships or some Malazan or some of these heavy things where horrible things happen quite regularly, and there is some humor, but it's also pretty damn dark. It's your books are more fun than that, so it's a nice change of pace from some of the heavy serious things.
I
That is
heard that there
deliberate.
are vampires
I figured.
ish in book 3, so I'm very
There
excited
are.
about that. I can't wait.
there are.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have to inform Sarah and her husband Andrew when I'm reading book 2 and Tori when I'm reading book 3. I have to write it down somewhere.
And he said it'd be great if you had a spreadsheet to keep track of that stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
What?
Evie is trying to, now my spreadsheet is my brain. So I'm so behind on my buddy reads now. I can't keep track anymore. So Evie is kindly offering her to set up a spreadsheet for me. She's asking for some inputs, which I'm not giving her. So she's behind me.
Speaking of Tori, how's your writing going? I haven't asked you in a while.
Yeah. When are we getting Bloodstones too?
Yeah. Or Cold Silver.
Not to put you on the spot.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, it's fine. So Queen's Wolf, probably end of 2025. That's my guess. That one I'm taking my time with because writing the second book in a epic fantasy series is kind of like herding cats a little bit. And
herding with a D, right?
Yes, and
just making sure.
So
Both.
that one I'm taking my time with, and I want to really make sure that I cross all my T's and dot all my I's. The Cold Silver book, I'm probably 15,000, 20,000 words away from finishing. So 3/4 finished. And hopefully by the end of winter,
Wow.
we'll have it out.
Wow.
That's the goal. I've been sitting on the cover for like 4 months, you guys, and it is killing me. I hate it so much.
I'm not sure if I can tell this, but
Look who it is.
I saw that cover and
You
it
did
is
see that cover.
so good.
Now
It's
we're
so
full.
good. So
Now we're
excited.
full. I
Hi,
think.
Gary.
I think it's 10 that Restream will allow in one stream.
Oh,
Hi,
I'm glad I
Gary.
got here beforehand then. Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday from the future.
Exactly. This is always the trick when I'm in the future. It's like, do I wish them happy birthday when it's their birthday date here? Or do I try and remember for when it's their birthday there?
I had this yesterday because Germans, the sort of tradition in Germany is they call it partying into your birthday.
Oh, I like that.
So what you do is you always have a party on the night before, so
Nice.
that everyone's there at midnight when your birthday starts, and they wish you a happy birthday at midnight and give you gifts and whatever. And I was thinking of doing a partying into my birthday yesterday, but then I was like, I turned 56. I'll probably fall asleep.
Yeah.
What are you reading, Gary?
Nothing at the moment. I've just got Discworld on while I'm rebuilding my best friend's kit set greenhouse because it's Let's just say little care was taken when she put it together, and the wind in Wellington is unforgiving.
I remember
So-
that from visiting Wellington just once for a couple of days. The wind was kind of crazy. Well, and if I remember right, Wellington is this sort of valley and very hilly, and it felt
Yeah.
like it was a funnel, basically.
Yes, because there's also a bay that comes into the heart of Wellington. So not only do we get all of the different various land-based wind tunnels, we also get the ocean wind being funneled up and through. So it's a lot.
Dr. Fantasy himself. Hail
Oh,
Professor Dr. Fantasy.
I am
No,
so
I don't
confused.
recognize them.
I'm so confused.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
Tori dropped out and Philip
Dr.
dropped in.
Fantasy with, I don't know if it's a jacket or a shirt.
No,
It's
an imposter.
Oh,
It's
wait a
an
sec.
imposter.
It's not tweed.
No,
it's
this isn't Philip.
it's John Mintonian in
That's
Nation.
not Philip.
Oh, when you jumped off, he got a
No, I kicked him. I
You
kicked
did
him.
scared Philip.
He's an
I kicked him.
imposter.
He's an imposter, obviously.
I mean,
He's obviously pretending to be Philip Chase. Philip Chase's account has been hacked, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This is the real Philip Chase.
The
Oh,
real Philip
my.
Chase.
Philip Chase.
Okay. I think Tori is trying to rejoin. Yeah, the restream's got a maximum of 10,
Oh,
unfortunately. But
How do you like this system?
overall, it's not bad. I mean, one of the
Chat is an issue.
things. Well, that was just once, and it's working totally fine today.
Oh, good.
One of the things that's always really important to me that you often don't get to test on new software is how good's their support.
Oh, yes, true.
And after I had problems at the last Sunday pub, I got onto their support, got an extremely useful person who explained numerous things to me and was extremely helpful. And it was all very quick and painless. So that won me a little love back.
Yeah, it develops some loyalty for wanting to help them succeed.
Yeah, exactly. And part of the problem was just that they had upgraded their software. They put in some new features and reorganized some interface things, and I didn't understand them. The chat was an actual problem, and she said all you can really do is empty your cache in your browser and restart your browser. But it's a browser side problem, so not something they can actually solve. I'm familiar with that working in web stuff as I do. What are you reading, Herr Professor Doctor?
oh my goodness! What am I reading? I am reading *The Great Ordeal* by R. Scott Baker right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which is pretty heavy stuff.
I was going to say, is your soul already crushed?
My soul is so crushed. You wouldn't.
Is the book itself an ordeal?
It is so brilliantly written that it's not an ordeal. It's just like Baker is one of the most gifted writers out there, but his philosophy, which may well be like right in so many ways, his view of humanity is unflinchingly bleak. It's us, all of our ugliness and our depravity and our selfishness and our lack of free will. It's just all just out there, blood and guts and all. And it's just it is a little depressing, I guess. But he is so brilliant that I'm forgetting that I'm depressed while I'm reading it until I'm done reading it. Because he is such a great writer. But if you're looking for, a little kind of warm and fuzzy, kind of being a little uplifted, then don't go there. It's bleak stuff. Yeah. Second Apocalypse series is the whole series. Prince of Nothing is the trilogy that starts it, and then there's a tetralogy, the Aspect Emperor, and I'm in the third book of the tetralogy right now. So I'll be talking with Joanna soon about it, actually.
The thing is, if we don't have free will, that just means we can be shaped to be good just as easily as we can be shaped to be evil, except everyone has motivation to shape us to be good. And very few, then it's society as a whole, everyone else wants us all to be good so that, because then we're easier to get along with. They don't want us to be murderous psychopaths because then you make a bad neighbor. So if we don't have free will, it's actually probably means we're all better off.
Could be.
And that's my problem with this discussion.
Interesting, yeah.
I think I fall somewhere in the middle. Yes, I want people around me to be nice people, but then that benefits me.
Oh, so you're being selfish. Yeah.
It's a selfishness.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly say, if anyone's listening who was invited and is trying to join, because I just got another message, we're at full capacity, but some people probably can't stay that long. So, hit me up on Discord, and
don't run away.
I'll let you know. Yeah, exactly.
Don't run away.
You'll get your chance. I'm a little overwhelmed, honestly.
Well, you shouldn't be, because you're a lovely, lovely man, and your pubs are wonderful, and everybody wants to wish you happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
A
But
pillar
when
of the
you do
community.
something spontaneous like this, especially if you don't really give a fuck about your birthday, you don't really expect the joint to be full. So
We give fucks for your birthday.
Yes, I will allow.
I will happily accept all your birthday fucks.
Okay.
My virgin ears.
Phrasing.
It's been kind of funny, actually. I started this new channel. I'm doing a gaming channel.
Oh, you should, yeah.
And I've really been going back and forth, like me, of all people, I've really been going back and forth about whether I should swear or try and avoid it. Because it's kind of a chill game. And I know a lot of older, maybe a bit more uptight people like me, they play this game and would be watching the videos. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna break down, and like in episode 4, I'm just gonna say fuck a lot and scare all of the people who don't want that away, and then it'll be just us,
Or you could use something very British or formal to swear, with like bollocks, or it doesn't offend to quite the same level.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, what's the rating on the game? I mean, if the game's
that's
mature,
good point.
It's an adult game. I mean, it's not a focused on or marketed at kids game at all. But
there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
I mean, use a sci-fi swear word.
My
like fracking or something.
My 2 cents on that, because like I said, I got a friend that has a huge Twitch channel, and you'll get, it depends what your goal is. I mean, if you want more Twitch impressions, YouTube impressions, if it's family friendly, in terms of language, you get more.
Yeah,
it's totally up to you if you want to do that, but there's also people that will have your stream on, and if there's family in the house and you've got F-bombs going out, that can be an issue too, where you just don't get as many viewers because of it. So
yep,
I'd grow the channel first and then do whatever you want. But that's me.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy with how it's gone so far. I'm a little surprised, actually. Just before I logged in, my first episode, which was a 3-hour-long video, because I'm doing Let's Plays of games and really long episodes are normal, has 2.7 thousand views, and I uploaded it 5 days ago.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
You're going to have 5 million subs in no time now.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It's a lot different than BookTube, for sure.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like, a friend of mine was like, no, your video should be 10 minutes long. I'm like, dude, have you ever watched a Let's Play? Ever? Nobody makes
people love the long Let's Plays. Like, a 3-hour one is like right in people's wheelhouses to watch.
I've got a very flat retention curve through the entire 3 hours.
Right.
Like, it drops off at the beginning, like always, but then it's not absolutely flat, but it's pretty damn flat. And I've got about 15 or 20% still watching at the end.
Wow.
Where do they find a time?
People put it on the background.
I was just going to say, it might just be sitting there. Oh,
you put it on and just let it run. And the most common comment I've got is, man, I really like your voice. It's so soothing. I'm like, I should start an ASMR channel.
There you go.
I just read random books at people, and it would probably go through the roof.
Our next audiobook narrator on the.
Well, one of the.
I have way too. I'm the king of weird mouth noises. I couldn't do audiobooks. I'm like the master of weird mouth noises, so I couldn't do that. The most common consistent kind of comment I've gotten on my BookTube channel is, you make so many weird noises with your mouth. Could you stop that? I'm like, no, I couldn't. Not unless I spent 2 hours longer editing audio. Yeah.
Very
I've got
active salivary gland, I guess, or something. Huh?
Yeah. I think with my mouth,
Ah.
I think is the problem.
How did you pick that game that you're playing, by the way? Of all the games in the world, how did you come up with that one? Because I've never heard of that one.
I was just playing it a lot. I really liked it. For those of you who haven't seen my channel, which is probably almost everyone, I am playing Medieval Dynasty, which is a survival building management game. And you're basically, you start out as a medieval peasant with nothing. And you go from that to having a village with like 250 people in it who are all doing different jobs and farming and smithing things in the forge and selling things for you and all this sort of stuff. It's a lot of fun, but it's a really, really insanely long-term game, which makes it great for Let's Plays. The idea, it's a dynasty game. So you actually can get married in the game, have a kid, and then when your kid is 18, you can take over your kid and play him or her. And then have another kid and just keep going. So, yeah.
And you're friends with the medievalist.
How convenient.
Exactly. I will be hitting up Professor Dr. Chase for all the medieval tips.
Yes.
I mean, I could teach you to speak in Old English if you want.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like, how do I build a house with primitive tools?
Oh, I'm useless there. I'm sorry.
I figured. That's why I haven't hit you up for any tips yet. You wear tweed. I didn't expect you to be building medieval houses with copper tools.
Well, Matt, what's the name of your gaming channel? Is it Matt on
It
Games?
was going to be Matt on Games, actually. But that was taken, unfortunately. And I didn't want it to be Matt on Games 97 or something.
Yeah.
It is Curious Monkey Gaming, because that's my PlayStation handle. And I think Evie's about to type it in the chat because it's hard to spell. It's QRIUSMUNKEE. Because Curious Monkey spelt normally was also taken. Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my computer kept trying to autocorrect me.
Exactly. Mine too.
I was gonna say, Philip's in Plaid now, so he could at least chop wood for you to build that house, Matt.
I can do that. I actually can do that. I've done.
I would be perfectly happy to make you one of my my villagers.
Indentured servants.
I am a lumberjack.
Surf.
And you don't care?
Are you okay?
Well, Matt, I'm gonna jump to make room for Tori because I know she wants to jump back in, and I have to go work for a couple of hours, and then I will be back on TV too. So I just want to say happy birthday, my man.
Thank you very much.
Old man. You
Yes.
are so old. You are almost exactly 6 months older than I am. So that makes you ancient. But dude, for real, man, happy birthday. You are the best of us. So I hope you know that. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, Brian. See you later.
Tori,
Brian.
you're up.
Brian.
See ya.
Take it easy, Brian.
I want to know, Evie, how is Max?
So I mentioned it at the start of the stream. So he is still in the hospital. His levels have improved, which is, I think, hopefully a good sign. It's instead of being too low, it's now at the low end of normal. And they're going to do an endoscopy. They didn't call me, so I'm assuming they're going to do it tomorrow instead of today. They were going to try and do it today, but they said it might be tomorrow. And after this stream is done, I'm going to call them and be like, hey, how's he doing? How's he feeling?
Yeah.
And I'll point it out again. Anybody who wants to help Evie out, of course, having an extremely sick dog is expensive. So if you would like to help Evie out, there's a link in the description of this video. You can donate a little or a lot, as much as you want. No pressure, but if you would like to help our very good friend Evie out with her veterinary bills, I'm sure she would appreciate it greatly. Just go down in the description. There's a GoFundMe link, and you can take it from there.
Nice. Thank you for that, Matt.
And well wishes and good thoughts and vibes are always welcome, regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing Max on your camera again.
But Derry, Probably not the best reread, but
No, probably not.
Oh.
Although it might help because it's anyone who suffers mental health knows how difficult it is to feel stuff for yourself, and it's kind of important that you do. This could help.
the first dozen pages are already have been a great catharsis. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
what are you reading, Derry? That's
I'll
not
say
Dungeon Crawler Curl.
I actually was reading it yesterday and have a new theory that I had to put in one of the channels. But because it's getting that intense, I'm rebuilding my best friend's greenhouse because it's Wellington and it was not designed for Wellington wind. So I got to use my tools. I got to use my heat gun and use heat shrink to get the tubes together. And next I'm going to be using my grommet thing so I can put grommets in all of the cupboard. I'm very excited. I like
Don't forget the Wallaces.
Precisely.
So you're not listening to an audiobook while you're doing that? Or?
I've got a Discworld going, which kind of doesn't count because I've reread them so many times. Seriously, I've lost count of how many times I've read them. And yet there's always moments that make me just giggle outrageously because they always strike me as so originally funny. So I'm busy listening to all of the tradespeople of Lancre who are in the Witches books, who all have a name that isn't their trade. So there's Tinker the Carter and Carter the Thatcher and Thatcher the Weaver and Weaver the Tailor and Tailor the... It's a whole thing. And they are the local Morris men. And they do the Morris dances.
I need to get into those someday. Yeah.
Oh, they're so brilliant. And they're nobody talks about the...
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
It's AP.
Look who's there.
I just on a whim, because AP is always extremely hard to get hold of if you're not Steven Erickson. I just thought I'd love to see AP, and I wrote him an email and got no reply. And I went, yeah, that's what I expected.
But happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
The end of the semester, and I have a mountain of grading that I'm hiding behind. But also, if you'll notice, Philip and I have very similar backgrounds at the minute.
You have very similar shirts.
Like, are you guys at the same house?
Are you sure you're not the same person?
Who's the real Philip Chase?
Well, you know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah, you wear my shirts, and I'll steal your office.
Leaning more heavily into one of them as an imposter here.
Now I'm really like they both kind of have the beard going on. AP, you need glasses. Otherwise, I would have a hard time figuring out which is which. You've even got your hair parted the same way.
Well, I'm slightly grayer, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But Philip dyes his hair, so it doesn't count.
Never.
How you doing, AP?
He has to look good on the photos.
How you doing, man? It's been ages since I've seen you. I mean, other than on your videos.
And it's been ages since I've been recording videos.
True.
I am doing very, very well. It's been a very busy semester, moving house, new job, and the teaching load I had was slightly above normal.
That's one way to put it.
So I've been a little bit busy. But I got your email, and then I tried to find time today to make sure that I could be here to wish you happy birthday.
I appreciate it, man.
That's special.
Excellent. Very good to see you. So I think you're the only one we haven't heard from yet. What are you reading right now? Or have you not got time to actually read?
I'm reading a lot of essays.
Yeah.
A lot of... They are very well written. I'm very proud of my students.
Sorry, the cadence
like
of that
sarcasm.
sentence was just lovely.
No, I'm still anytime I've been reading some Johnny Wirtz because I'm still really enjoying that series. I have been doing some reading of stuff that hasn't been published yet. So I've been
secret Steven Erickson projects that we should know about.
Well, just projects that have not yet been published. Like my other job is, you know, as an editor, so quite often I get manuscripts in that I am reading, and that takes up time as well. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I'm actually planning on doing a reread of The Crippled God as soon as my books arrive from storage, so I can finally record my final notes on rereading the Malazan Book of the Fallen and to get through the bit of The Crippled God.
What? So those aren't your books in the background?
I borrowed Philip's background. He stole
So
one
you-
of my shirts.
It's kind of funny because he has much nicer books than I do, but you know, at the moment he has to get his books unpacked and everything. So
So
this
your
will have
books,
to-
your books are still in Ireland, or came over from Ireland and they're in storage in the US?
They're in storage in the US, and I'm hoping to get them out of there before one of those reality TV shows where, you know, where they go and they break open the unit and they
Orders.
play on the stuff that's in there. That's
The
that's
storage
my
is-
stuff.
Also,
I-
Philip, you haven't been collecting books as long as AP has.
I'm not much of a collector. Yeah, I for years as a grad student, I used the library a lot. I bought used books, so whatever was cheapest, you know, is what I did. So yeah.
As someone, AP, who's moved around the world multiple times, I can recommend that you leave your stuff in storage for at least another 5 years. Because when you unpack all of it, it's like fucking Christmas. It's amazing. It's like, oh my God, I own this. I'd forgotten about that. Oh my God, this is wonderful. It's really cool. It's like a huge Christmas where you get a whole bunch of shit all at once.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's when I first moved to the States, like it all went into storage. So it all got packed up and shipped out before I left Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And when it arrived to a storage unit. So I didn't even see it when it arrived. And then it's just been sitting in the storage. I don't know what's there anymore. It is going to be like Christmas.
That is the downside of it. I've had it so many times. I mean, this is the first time in probably 20 years of my life where all of my stuff that I own is in one place and I can access it. So I've spent a lot of time doing things like someone mentions something and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got one of those. I'll loan it to you.
Oh, hang on.
Where is it?
I have
that's
multiple
right. Yeah, it's
boxes.
in storage in another country.
I have boxes of books I packed in the 20th century and have not opened since. So
Exactly.
I want to open it on video. I want to make a little YouTube video. Oh my God, look at this.
Just
And,
that
oh, look at
to
this.
Joe Burns time capsule.
Yeah, yeah.
But have you ever experienced that thing, because you've been moving around so much, that you've whittled it down and you've gotten rid of stuff and you've gotten rid of stuff, and I used to have all of these books.
Yeah.
But after moving so many times, you kind of get down to a core of ones that you don't want to part with. And then there's a group that it's stuff that you got that you're planning on reading. And then there was, well, if I'm going to read those ones, these are connected to it, so I'll have those. And then I was studying this subject once, so I have all of these books. It's not so much a collection as it's kind of an accumulation that just builds up on your back and destroys your soul.
From so much moving, I literally didn't own a physical book at one point, because I just kept getting, like you said, you just kept getting rid of stuff. I'm like, every time I got a physical book, I'm like, this is a thing made of atoms that exists in three-dimensional space that I know I'm going to have to move to another country. It's going to have to happen. So I bought a Kindle. Exactly. And now what I do is I'm always like, I know I've read that book, but I don't have it anymore. And then like a month later, I'll open my Kindle and I'm like, oh yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. I did read it.
I did that after leaving a terrible relationship. I had to leave my library behind, which broke my heart. But I just pretty much replaced most of it on Kindle, and only in the last couple of years, and we're talking a decade ago, I left my library behind. Only in the last couple of years have I started to actually go, I love this enough. I want a physical copy of this. So, and I've tried to buy nice editions. So I've got the hardcover Discworld slowly trickling back into my physical. So, and it's nice.
I've swung all the way the other direction.
How big they are.
after all of this like I can't have nice things for 20
Yeah.
years. I've swung all the way back in the other direction. I moved into a really nice flat that I'm very happy with and I want to stay in forever.
Yay.
3 years ago. And I've just been going nuts. I had a physical bookshelf installed in, like
Nice.
it's bolted to the wall. I've been putting up bookshelves all over the place. I have stacks of physical books over there that don't have a bookshelf yet. I'm just going nuts, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I kind of miss the carefree nomad days.
Now there's stuff to dust.
I know, but
I
the thing
feel
is,
you. I think I
wish-
added my eighth or ninth bookshelf recently.
Yeah, you've a lot.
5,
yeah.
6,
That's
7, 8.
old.
Yeah.
Does that include the one you just recently bought, John?
Yeah, that was I have 9 in my house now because I was stuffed to the seams. And the thing is, I'm not one of those collectors that has a whole lot of unread books. I mean, it's easily less than 10% of what I own is unread. But even so, it's just I've hit the limit. There's no more space in my house for another bookshelf. So when I fill up that 9th one, I'm going to have to make some hard decisions.
I'm
really wish that
super
I could
jealous
read-
of you Americans. I don't think you realize how lucky you are, especially probably in Texas.
Yeah.
Like everybody I know in Europe, I know one rich guy, but everybody else that I know lives like I do. I live in a 90 square meter flat.
Yeah.
I had to decide when I was putting up my bookshelves, I had to decide whether I wanted to use a door anymore or not, because I could use that space for bookshelf. And I did. I put a bookshelf in front of the door, and I just don't use that door anymore.
Wait. Is that the fire exit?
No, it's my bedroom. I just sleep on the sofa.
You turn your bedroom into the library, and
Well, that's what I've gotten up to now. Like this stack of books that I have to build a bookshelf for.
Yeah.
The only place I can go is in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end up with like 3 bookshelves in my bedroom and
you could do
a
what
bed
I've
in a
done,
corner.
which is preempt the need for more shelves. And I actually have 2 bookshelves on their sides, being the legs of my bed. So I needed a ladder to get to bed, but I have bookshelves under my bed.
That's
Wow.
cool.
And if you put your bookcases on hinges, they can be the doors.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
like secret
I've seen
entrance
those.
bookcases.
I actually want to. I said I know a couple of rich people. One of them lives in Australia, and she has an insane house. Like it's just so big and beautiful. It was custom built exactly how she wanted it. And when I got married, my wife and I did a trip to Australia. We visited Catherine. She was like, "Yeah, you have to come by on your honeymoon visit." And she put us in the guest bedroom, which was amazing. And then she was like, "By the way, you have your own bathroom." And I was like, "I don't think we passed a bathroom." And then she was like, "This book, if you pull it out, you can grab the book next to it because it's actually not a book." And she pulled it open, and it was a
Wow.
fucking secret door in a bookshelf.
That's
That's
how you
amazing.
do wealth, people.
awesome.
Oh my God. And it went into this bathroom that had like this stained glass window of a tree looking out over this beautiful valley. And I was like, "Catherine, I think we're going to have to kill you and take your house."
This is just
made it
asking to
win.
have a heart attack on the toilet, and the paramedics come and they cannot find you. I don't know. We got a call. We don't see anything.
You need a red light on the bookshelf that says, "I'm in here."
Yeah.
Gotta think about that stuff at our age, right?
Yeah, but Matt, you don't have to put You don't have to put on the red light anymore.
No, it wasn't.
Matt, you should have pulled out some other books to see where they went to.
Yeah, exactly. Does this one open something else? And there's a trapdoor in the ceiling, or
I'd have been
The
searching
back
the whole
page.
house, going, "What other
throwing
secret
all of the
doors
books
can I
off the
find?"
shelf. Yeah, no, it was just the one, or at least that was the secret door she told me about.
Precisely.
Who knows about the other ones? No idea.
Because that's, I
longer a
think,
secret.
everybody with any level of like genuine richness. That is what they should be doing. Build the secret rooms and the lairs.
It probably actually says a lot about me that like that was one of the only moments in my life where I thought, I wish I was rich.
Yeah, that's what it's
I
for.
wish I was rich that I could build a house with cool secret doors.
I think
Otherwise, never really worried much about wealth.
I think the Beauty and the Beast, Belle's library is
Oh, yeah.
that, and the secret doorway to that Belle's library is like the ideal book nerd's dream.
Oh,
So-
But it's a health and safety hazard.
As Joe has already so succinctly pointed out.
Oh, funny. Oh.
Gonna wear a hard hat when you go up the ladder. Just swing.
Just have
You
a
need
harness
to
on the ladder.
you have to have a harness and a rope.
Yeah, you can carabiner yourself on it.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't want to fall off that ladder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can help with that.
There are libraries like that in the world. Like, I haven't been to many, but it's just like, I went into a bookstore in Brussels that was like that. It was just like all wood and brass, and they had this, like rolling ladders and all this sort of, it was just crazy bookstore. And I just walked in and I was like, I can't look at the books now. I'm just so overwhelmed with this amazing space. I just have to look at it. I'm too distracted to look at books.
There's a library in the middle of a shopping mall in Seoul that I went to 2 summers ago. It's about 3 stories, and there's an escalator that it's just a spectacle. It's remarkable. Just the way they have it, and then the way that people will get books. I mean, it was an English speaking library, so it didn't really help me, but just going there and walking around and seeing it, it was almost overwhelming, but it was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we're all book lovers. We know what it is to be in a space with just so many books. You're just like, oh, yes, this is wonderful.
Yeah, it was like an hour train ride across town that I took just to literally go see this place.
Not only so many books, but like spaces like that, I'm always just like super touched that somebody valued books that much, that somebody actually said books are so damn important. I'm going to build an amazing, huge space and fill it up with them. Yep. I find that super impressive.
I'll put some pictures in the Discord later. It was incredible.
And much more impressive than a Kindle library, where it would just be like one little thing on the wall, and you're like,
yeah, much more impressive because you can probably find stuff more easily.
Yeah, I've said to people when I was traveling, I've got 600 books in my bag, and they're like, it's not a very big bag. And I'm like, yeah, they're not very big books, and you pull out the Kindle.
Yeah. But they're really, I mean, I love my Kindle, don't get me wrong, but I hate the fact I cannot put my books in my Kindle in the order that I want them. It does my head in. And they go, no, we will sort it by series for you. Then start naming the series properly, because Discworld does my head in.
It's I design interfaces for software for a living, and it would be so easy to do exactly what you just described.
Oh, don't tell me it's easy, because
it
now
would be
it's
so easy.
More frustrating that it's not.
Like I could design that in an afternoon without even changing the interface that much. And I also opened it up and I'm like, why don't they do these things?
It could be worse. It could be as bad as Goodreads, which hasn't had an update in like
Goodreads is a disaster. Goodreads hasn't had an update since just before Amazon bought it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need one. It sells books for them.
And so many issues are very easy to fix, actually. It doesn't even take a single day to fix Goodreads issues, but they still don't do it.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. Most of it's really basic.
I discovered you can put a little private note to yourself in Goodreads, which is what I do when someone suggests something. I can go in there and go, and I have a perfect example, Kings of the Wild, which I have in front of me because I do promise I'm going to read it, which I do. It's right there. As I can put on my Goodreads, Josh read it, loved it, thought it was great. And then every time someone else mentions it, I can go in and put it. And then when I finally get round to that book and I go, why do I have this book? When I pull it up on Goodreads, it goes, because Josh thought it was amazing. And this person thought it was amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I remember now. And yeah, it's really handy. Because,
that's good.
flash in the pan things happen. And you're like, why did I want to read that?
I met a Goodreads librarian. I was like, I'm paying for all your meals when we're together. All your drinks, you're not paying for anything in front of you. I need you to owe me as many favors as possible to get like covers fixed and like, because when I put a book in on Goodreads, it'll put in a parallel copy from Amazon, because on Amazon I'm JCM with no periods, and on Goodreads there are periods between the initials after the initials. So it's 2 separate copies of every book. And I'm like, this isn't good. So
No.
I'm like, here, remember the time I bought you lunch? Could you collapse these entries for me? And he's like, sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to work at a publisher that was going through a painful digital transformation transition and academic publishing. So I can tell you that all of these are data problems. They're not people problems. They're data problems. Books are the most annoying kind of data in the world. They are so irritating because they are so inconsistent and there are so many exceptions and weirdnesses where you make a template. You're like, okay, it's a book. It's got a title and an author and oh wait, no, it could have multiple authors. It's an academic paper. It could have 15 authors. Okay. And, it's just like data consistency is such a massive
And it's not even one ISBN because you don't really want a different entry in Goodreads for the ebook and the paperback and the hardcover, right? Presumably the reviews are going to be the same. You want it all collapsed. So you can't even use that. You think, oh, we have a unique identifier. Fantastic. No.
I know.
No, you don't want to use that.
Yeah, we had to come up with all sorts of like another layer of data on top of the data that we got so that we could say the electronic version of this and the physical version of this refer to the same text. Because when you just get the texts in data, they're treated like completely separate objects that have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
So there's definitely pluses and minuses to having an electronic library. But,
yeah.
But you don't own any of the books in your electronic library.
I know.
That's
I'm
the other
just
thing.
paying for the rights.
You're just licensing them for a
slowly
potentially
buy
limited time.
The ones I love.
Because there've been a couple of books over the years that Kindle have just taken back for one reason or another. They've just gone, you do not have this anymore, and
or
you have
updated.
absolutely no recourse.
Or updated. It's like the book I bought now has a different text and cover.
Yes, I
And,
hate it when
like-
they change the covers on me.
Yeah.
So when is Amazon changing its name to Ministry of Truth?
We're not far. We're not
Yeah,
far.
Jared Henderson had a video a couple months ago about how he is just trying to get off of the Amazon ecosystem because it took 1984 off of his.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic when you think about what AP's last statement there. But,
how can you possibly be Amazon and then take fucking
then do that?
1984 off of people's devices?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because people might read it and find out that
Yeah.
things
Like,
are warnings.
Yeah. I'm old enough. Some of us are old enough, or a couple of us are old enough to remember when all of these questions were not yet answered.
Yeah.
Like, digital books didn't exist when I was a kid at all. And there was a point where digital books started coming out and everyone was like business was like, how are we going to control this? And everybody else was like, hey, there's no control. Cool. And sharing books all over the place.
Yeah.
And it really could have gone a different way. Like now it's accepted that DRM is just like a normal part of life, but it could have gone a different way that you could own something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, from a business perspective, I understand the problem because if you have a digital copy, it's infinite. Like as soon as one person buys it, there's no reason for the rest of the world to buy it. If it was completely open, you could just put it up on the net somewhere and just let it spread out all over the place legally, if that was the way the laws went. But yeah.
Many people still do that. There are websites like that
Yeah.
actually exist.
Sure.
I mean,
But it's
they
illegal.
they keep, getting legal notice and they delete it, but they create another one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was one of our biggest problems. I mean, you don't necessarily think of the world of academic publishing as a swashbuckling world of piracy, but it is.
Or it's probably the worst because of how expensive those books are.
We got hacked by
Teenagers at
extremely
university.
organized organizations out of China and Russia all the time.
Yeah.
And they would crash our site and download all the PDFs they could.
Yeah.
All the
So
time.
expensive.
Yeah.
There's a very genuine black market for academic books because the teenagers one's just come out of it, and if anyone had a copy of the book that they needed, that could be shared among them, they were superstars.
And I wish Chinese hackers would crash something from my books. That sounds fantastic. I'd be
I've just had
thrilled.
this image of one of those guys walking down an alleyway going, "Do you want a copy of Science? I've got the Journal of Psychological Studies, volume 23.
That was the good volume.
It is kind of like that. There's a website. What's it called? LibSci. I think it's called LibSci, and it's basically academic science papers, not like Science the magazine, but like really obscure, out there weirdo science research papers, and it's run in Russia, and everything on it is illegal. It's just packed with science papers. And the way you get them shut down, I mean, this isn't their advantage. The way you get them shut down is you have to do it kind of individually for each paper. Because it's infringing on the author's rights. It's not really necessarily infringing on anyone else, or maybe the publisher, but they'll like take one paper down and upload 10, you know? I mean, it never stops. It's never going to stop.
Yeah, but I'm just tickled by the idea of, here, you can have volume 1 for free, but the next one's going to cost you. I get them hooked on
LibGen. That's it.
We're getting that for news, and we're getting it with knowledge. So we lead back into that 1984 thing again, where access to knowledge is so controlled.
Indeed.
Yeah, I actually have to leave, Matt. I have to go pick up my daughter from where I dropped her off earlier.
No worries.
But I want to again wish you a happy birthday. I am thrilled to have this opportunity to do that, and good luck with the video game channel. I expect you to surpass all of us combined in no time in subscriber count and everything else. Video game channel.
It's possible. I mean, video games are certainly more exciting
Sexy.
to a lot of people than
Sexy.
books.
I think that's the word you were looking for.
Sexy, yes.
Yeah.
Far sexier. Although I'm playing basically, I'm doing live play, extremely long videos of the most boring game I could find. So, you know.
So you're old people sexy. That's fine.
You're going to be a millionaire, man.
Sexy for
You
60-year-olds, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That works. So anyway, happy birthday, my friend.
I'm going to have to leave as well, absolutely coincidentally, and not because I am tracking the movements of the nefarious Dr. Panic.
It is slightly suspicious that the
They
two guys,
share one camera, so
the
they
two
have
guys
to-
wearing plaid shirts with the same background are leaving at the same time. You know how you can turn on a filter that makes your head into a cat? I think Philip's got 2 cameras running, and he's got one that makes his head into an AP.
AP's a filter.
Critical Dragon filter.
Yeah.
Critical Dragon filter.
Have you ever seen both of them in the same place at once?
Not physically.
A couple people have. You could ask Joanna.
Yeah, and how much
Or
was she
Jimmy.
paid?
Jimmy, or Alan.
Yeah, I mean they're all cheap. You could pay them all off easy.
I've seen AP in a facsimile of Philip.
Yes.
Exactly, like a cardboard cutout. This is my
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
Philip.
Mask.
Very mysterious.
That actually does exist.
Yeah.
Are you guys the same?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, man.
Right.
See you, AP.
You guys.
Everybody.
See you,
Nice
Philip.
seeing you guys.
Take care, guys.
Lovely to see you. Oh, funny.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that AP came at all. Like I said, I haven't seen him in a long time, and
No.
just sort of spontaneously shot off an email to see if he would, and he dropped by.
Such a lovely
Very
man.
cool.
That is cool.
Very cool. It is super cool, all of you in the chat and on screen. I'm touched and honored on my birthday to have all of you so spontaneously drop by. It's very, very cool.
It makes
Yeah, I think
me
as
go,
we went
"This
around,
is
I don't
lovely."
think we got Chris Nava. What are you reading? I don't
Exactly.
think you got
Oh.
into that.
Nava's so quiet.
You
Well,
say that. I don't think I've heard Jared speak once.
True.
no,
You're-
I'm keeping December pretty light. Nothing too heavy. I'm reading more of the small short stories from.
Let me
Evan.
flip your camera. There we go.
There we go.
The Advent of Winter.
That looks like such a lovely book.
Yeah, it's an anthology. It's Tori's in it.
Yeah.
I read
Dominish
only
did that.
Tori's story from
Yep.
that.
Dominish put it on Kickstarter, and it
Yeah.
did really well. I got it
Yeah.
as well. It's nice.
Tori's
And then
story
I'm
from
going
that only.
to. What's that?
Tori's story in that only she is writing novel. I mean that Cold Silver for Souls.
Her
I
short
haven't read
story
her-
is basically
I haven't gotten to Tori's yet. So.
yeah. Her short story in that is basically like the seed which planted the idea of a novel which she's now writing, and
Nice.
she was here earlier and said it will be done around the
This-
end of summer.
winter.
Summer
End of
or
winter.
end of winter. End of winter. She
In
said.
the winter, yeah.
Soon.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna
Very cool.
finish the year off with the Gallant. Jenny
Oh,
Williams.
nice.
Jenny.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm gonna start the War of
Fantastic.
Shadow in January.
You're good. You're doing that good. I'm
Yeah,
on
me
I'm on
too.
book eight.
Story,
Me
yeah.
too.
I'm on book eight.
Yeah, with I guess a bunch of people. I think Brian and John and a couple of other people. I think.
Yeah.
And me.
I'm reading her short story collection
And
right
And
now.
you-
Oh, really?
Yeah. She has it's called
This Way
something
Lies
Camelot.
Yeah.
Something Camelot. Yeah.
There
Way
lies
lies,
Camelot,
yeah.
or
There lies Camelot.
There lies Camelot, yeah.
I think I've got it over there as well.
What's interesting, I've read there's 14 or 15 stories. I think I've read 9 of them.
Mhm.
The diversity. There's 3 of them that are following this space pirate in this like cat and mouse with this like imperial fleet kind of feel. It's I'm really enjoying it. It's I admire authors that kind of have that scope that can do so many different things, and yeah, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. So
That's Bollywood music.
It's totally Bollywood music.
Love it.
Yes. There was no doubt in my mind whose phone that was.
Yeah.
There was a time in my life that there was a particular Bollywood movie, and I could sing the entire soundtrack. I didn't understand a word, but I was in India for 3 months, traveling all over the place, and it was everywhere. It seemed to be kind of standard. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of Bollywood, a lot of music that you hear in public in India is connected to movies. It's like they play soundtracks almost exclusively everywhere.
Yeah.
And every bus I was in, it was turned up to 12. Every restaurant I was in, it was turned up to 12. And they didn't understand when you'd say to them, I can hardly hear myself think. Could you turn that down a little? And they do this sort of little head nod, sort of side to side, and then not turn it down.
Saying, but no.
Yeah. I figured out after a while that the head nod basically means get fucked.
That wasn't the correct way to answer that.
No, actually, they're trying to be polite, but inside their head, they are like giving you a glare.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Hey.
like, I'm not going to, I don't want to say no because that would be impolite, but no,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. Yeah.
I know.
Hey, Matt, I got to run.
Joe, is
I
that
just want to say happy birthday and this nice
Cool.
Bye,
celebration.
Jared?
Thanks,
All
Jared.
right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jared.
See you, mate.
Is that Doom background music, Joe? I'm not.
I love that tune.
Yeah.
And so that's my wife. I used to have a thing on my phone that would play Desi Girl whenever she called, which I thought was hilarious, but like
That's
most
so
people
cool.
didn't get it. But I lost track of that app, so I don't have that anymore. But it still plays Doom. That's my ringtone. That's the music I listen to. Anyway, like when I put it in my books that this is what everyone, it's not. I'm not just snatching that from nowhere. That's my stuff. And that was my wife calling for a dinner order, so I need to go and get that together for her. Or when she gets home hungry, it's going to be bad for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But by everybody, I mean me.
Yeah, almost nobody, just you.
Almost nobody had exactly right. Yes. It'd be bad for just me. All right, Matt. Happy birthday, man!
Thank you very
thanks
much.
so
Thank
much
you
for
for coming
bringing me
by.
on, and and it was great to see everybody.
Bye, Joe.
So take it easy. Yeah, and I'll talk to you all later. Okay.
Good to see you, Joe.
Good
Thanks,
to see
man.
So, what was I going to say then?
I'm not over promoting for those of you in the chat. I was asked
Yeah.
by a screen participant to put the name of my gaming channel on in the chat.
And maybe in the description.
Ah, that's why I did not
Mm.
find it. Curious is QRIUS. Okay.
Yeah, and Monkey is MUNKEE. Yeah.
Because you're deliberately trying to make it hard to find you? Or?
No, because it's really easy to find me because the people who want to find me are trying to find a game. They're not trying to find me.
I typed in like monkey, curious monkey, and there's like 900 channels called monkey.
Yeah. But if you type in
But not
medieval
12.
dynasty, you will get one of my videos probably on the first 5 or
Monkey
Okay.
Dynasty.
no medieval dynasty.
Medieval
It's
Dynasty.
the game I'm playing.
How this curious
okay.
monkey gaming has different guy on the profile picture. Is that you? No.
That's
Who
the
is
guy. That's the guy. My character in the game I'm playing.
that? Is 92 subscribers you have? Is that the one yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I only started
We'll
5
get to
days ago.
200.
93rd. You have 93 subscribers.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Probably nobody here would be at all interested in the content, but I do appreciate the subscriptions and the
Big
likes
I
just
like
for
resource games.
the numbers. Yeah,
like
it is. It is
Cossacks
the.
was one I spent a lot of hours playing.
It is the awesomest, most interesting, and deep resource-related game that I have ever played, and I've played a lot of survival games.
Yeah.
So, if you like games like that, I can recommend it, and I think it's on sale right now on Steam. I think.
Good to know.
For like $30 or something.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
bit out of my price range. But never mind. I can put it on my wish
Yeah.
list. It'll be on sale eventually.
Yeah. Well, no, it is on sale right now. I think normally it costs 60 or 70 or something.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's all right. Keep it there long enough, it'll become affordable for me.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
did for Cossacks, which was one I used to play on disc. That's how old that one is.
Peter apparently knows it.
Yay!
It is
Person
a
manifest style, so you know.
it is a very relaxing game because this is why I call it a boring game. There's a whole genre of games that I call boring games because they're nothing like Fortnite.
No, the
or
resource
Call of
management
Duty.
and yeah.
Yeah, and you're farming and you're sort of chilling out, and nothing horrible happens if you just wander
They're
around the
my
landscape
favorites.
and look at stuff, and it's
I play
it's
those and
extremely relaxing.
strategy puzzle games. I like puzzles. So I do
Okay.
a lot of escape room type things. And yeah, I've literally played one last night for about 6 hours all the way through, which was figuring out how alien artifacts worked. And at the
Okay.
end of it, you've built your own little private space pod that takes you on a space adventure.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that was fun.
I also really get into 4X games, which are also generally kind of boring games. But 4X is explore. I forget. Explore, exploit. I forget what it is. But basically, Civilization, Age of Empires, those kinds of
Yeah.
games, where
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
I'm
start
waiting
in a
for,
place and you explore the landscape and build cities and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I played Civilization 6, 7. I guess 7's coming out.
7's coming out, but you don't play it yet, I'm sure. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but Civ 7 looks really interesting. And that may end up on the channel as well. I may start a Civ 7 Let's Play as well at some point.
Nice.
Are you sticking to Let's Play, or are you going to eventually do like tutorial?
I'm doing, right now I've got planned basically a Let's Play, which will just be ongoing, because like I said, this game is long. You can play it forever. And I also want to do, because I find that I really enjoy helping people play, and it's a really complex and confusing game. Like when you first start, I remember the feeling myself. I started that game about a year ago. Here's Evie again. When I first started playing it, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I thought I knew what I was meant to do, and I apparently did it wrong because it's not working. And I was super confused. And I want to do this Let's Play series, but I also want to do a series of like 10-minute videos focused on one subject in the game.
Nice.
So here's one thing that you should understand, and I explain all of it, and that's it. And then
You're
just
selling
a
me on this
series.
game.
Yeah.
I may have to treat myself for Christmas.
Yeah, have a look at it.
It sounds like something I would be perfectly happy to spend many, many hours doing.
It sounds like you would probably enjoy it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then I catch myself doing something in the game and I'm just like, this is probably boring as hell. what am I doing? I'm like, no, but I'm actually, it's kind of chill and relaxing, and it's nice.
I find those games really help with my PTSD. They just keep me really sort of level and just, everything's cool. And if I have a bad day and my PTSD has my shoulders up around my ears, those games kind of help bring it back down again. So
there you go.
And like you said, Matt, those games are so long that it's a game you can just stop and you can like play like an hour. Stop.
Yeah, and this particular game also, I mean, it's really good. For example, I've got a friend I play online with sometimes, and this game also has co-op. You don't have to play with other people. I usually don't, but sometimes I do. And he's got kids, so he can be interrupted at any time. And it's a game that, especially when you're playing it solo, you can open a menu and the game is frozen.
Right.
So you can you can say, I'm going to go make a sandwich. I'm going to be gone for an hour eating lunch. You can just open a menu, come back, close the menu, and continue. So it's a nice pick it up, put it down kind of game.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really, to be honest, I'm a little nervous because I have a hard time believing in my ability to continue with a project. Because, as you can see with my BookTube channel, I mean, it turned into a live every Sunday channel, but I haven't produced a video in 8 months or 9 months or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not really good at sticking to things. I have a mind that really...
people going, we like you anyway. Happy birthday.
Welcome to the club. I did not post a video since, I don't know. When was my last video? And you, at least
May was my last video. Yeah.
At least you are running the pub when you are active in the community. That's what is important, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I want to, but just 2024 has just been a rough year for me. So I just...
Me too.
Same.
It just...
Does it look like 2025 might improve?
It has to. I am planning... I don't want to tell this, but I can't keep a secret apparently. So I want, 2023 was fantastic for me. My first book was Fool's Fate and I loved it. And the entire year I read so many favorite books actually. And 2024 was such a flop. I don't think I read even 20 books actually. So I'm planning a great book for my first book. Like I am very sure if there is any I don't have any doubt that it's going to be 5-star. Like damn sure I'm going to like it, and that's going to be... Any guesses?
Barehead.
Huh?
I don't know.
Is it a new... Oh, I need a clue. Is it a new author you've never read before?
Yes.
Oh. So it's not Tchaikovsky and it's not KJ Parker.
I've read before.
Yes.
Is it... I don't think it's gonna be Spirit Cuts Through Water.
Are you gonna read Persuasion?
No.
Frankenstein.
No, it's not Evie's favorite. I mean, Evie does like the book, but it's not her favorite.
Okay, I give up.
I have no chance guessing this.
Okay, I have to stick to my... What is that? I am going to
we're holding you accountable now.
I am going to read Alan's favorite book, obviously. It is
Guts!
Yes.
You're going to read Discworld. I am so happy about that. I'm sorry
I'm reading that this month, actually.
Yeah,
I'm reading Guards this month. Yeah.
It's really fun.
So
and smart. I mean, it's not only just fun, it's very, very smart.
Now
I have a lot of goosebumps. I'm so happy. Yay.
Then we'll be able to not harp at Anitha for not reading any Discworld. So
we'll find something else.
This is my first Discworld too.
Yeah, also mine. I mean, Terry Pratchett completely broke my aversion to fantasy humor or humor-focused fantasy.
I'm so happy.
That I don't have any doubt because I love Parker's humor. Alan many times said that.
Yeah, but Parker doesn't write humor-focused fantasy. He has humor in his books.
Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, it's absurdist. The whole thing is absurdist.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
The world is a disc on the back of elephant standing on a turtle.
Is absurd.
Yes.
None of the stories are.
No. But I mean, you like if you were filing Terry Pratchett in
Which is why everyone
subgenres
gets it wrong.
subgenres of fantasy, you'd put him in humor.
Which is wrong, because everybody thinks that it's funny, and that's what
See,
it is. But it's not.
As
That's why no one
Tchaikovsky,
gets it.
as Tchaikovsky said, actually, when you're writing a dark, bleak book like KJ
You have
Parker
to put,
books
yeah.
or and Buttigieg listings, when you are tackling dark themes, it's better if your characters are witty and if you include humor in your books. So I
Yeah.
understand why Pratchett books are
By
so,
putting it in that
yeah,
absurd world,
because
he just lifts the
yeah,
darkness that is in
yeah,
all of the
because
stories.
he tackles a lot of real life themes, real world
Yep.
themes, which we see even today.
Yep. Some of them are becoming more appropriate. I'm finding, because I read them so often. I'm like, ooh, okay, that's really on the nose at the minute. Ooh.
I haven't even read Discworld, and I'm already defending it, and I already love it. So it's like,
I'm so excited. When are you going to start, Josh? This month.
It's this month. Yeah, it's this month. Probably end of the month. I'm not sure. I don't have my.
Okay.
I don't keep an order like what I'm going to do. So
That's
I'm
okay.
reading Howling Dark right now. But
it's just making sure that I check in on Discord often.
yes, I mean it's
But you
definitely
know.
will. Yeah, it definitely will be this month.
So excited.
Well, Nisa, you're not alone. I haven't read Discord yet either. I was going to read it last year, but I didn't get to it. I have.
Jerry's traumatized.
Part of me wants to either read it in publication order or start with the.
Either is fine.
Start with
You're part of BookTube, and as part of BookTube, you know the important thing, which is if you start at the beginning, it's not going to be as fabulous as it becomes, because the start of it is like a beta testing playground, and then by books 3, 4, 5, he's starting to go, oh, I can actually do something quite clever here, and it turns into what Discworld becomes. People who don't know that read the first one and go, why do people love this series so much? This isn't at all what they're telling me it is. So
I took Alan's advice, and I started with the City Watch, so Guards, and I got about halfway through Guards, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to read all of this. Not all of Discworld, maybe, but all of City Watch for sure.
Right.
You know,
yeah, I technically started with The Color of Magic, and I was like, this is fine. And I didn't read another Discworld book for like 4 years. And then I read Equal Rights. And
yeah, I heard that about Color of Magic. I heard Color of Magic is kind of okay.
I've heard people who have the long-term view and start with Discworld, and they start with Color of Magic quite intentionally because they want to see him get better.
Yeah. Which is a really valid way to do it.
Totally, but
sadness
like
there is
for
you
me,
also then at the last few see the decline as he becomes really ill.
Yeah. For me personally, I'm just like, I don't want to. I mean, I guess in a really abstract kind of way that I don't much care about myself, it could be interesting seeing that development. But I would rather just read his best books. You know?
I like people to
jump
start
in where it
with
starts.
great
Yeah,
and go, this is fantastic. I love it. Now I'll read more. And then it becomes an interesting thing to just look back and go, look how far he's come. And know how amazing it can be. Because some of them are just breathtakingly fabulous.
Yeah, no, I read Guards and what's the second one?
Men at Arms.
Men at Arms.
Feet of Clay.
Third one, Feet of Clay, is next on my Discord list. Yeah.
They're just so good. They're just so good.
Here she goes. Derry's winding up. Derry's winding up for a Discworld rant.
In these books, man, they're just top notch because they're never confrontational, because it's set in this absurd world. Nothing is confronting. We can talk about.
So I got both just in case. So. Yeah, I have both just in case.
Oh, and those editions are also just gorgeous. I bought the whole City Watch already in those editions just because they're so pretty.
I've got all the Witches ones.
And what I really appreciate about them, they're not super expensive for hardbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen paperbacks that cost as much as those.
But
Yeah.
there are so many books. I want them so
Yeah.
badly, but I don't. I neither have shelf space for them nor budget
You
for
just
them.
need to get them in sub-series because then it's only 5 or 6. You know, so it's
Yes,
5 or
but
6 books for the witches and 5 or 6 books for the
Yeah.
watch, and then suddenly you've got 30 odd, and you're like, oh well, I've nearly got all of them now, so I'll get the standalones, and and suddenly you do have all of them, and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
They don't have The Last Hero in that hardcover because it was produced and published as a picture book,
All right.
but it's fabulous.
okay, Dom. Yes, in that currency it is only 14, but when you convert to our currency, it is like 30.
Yeah. Apparently that's what it costs at the moment. I don't know. I don't remember. Are those UK editions?
They
The
are.
hot,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Library collection.
So
Yeah.
they're like, it's a rare case of something being cheaper over here.
Yeah, probably.
They're a little more.
Yeah, I
over
have
there.
the stupid tall mass market paperbacks.
God, I hate those.
They're
They're
horrible.
so ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the format, which I find unforgivable, but like the design of the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
don't like.
just so bad.
Yeah, I have that
can't-
one, and I have Small Gods as well. So
Oh
I-
my god, that on audio, Andy Serkis does the
I
main
only have
narration of
Discover.
that.
those old editions are good. I mean, the covers.
see,
Like,
that's
those
what I
are
thought I
actually
was
quite
buying
nice.
when I bought mass market paperback.
Yeah.
But I got the one that's an inch taller. That's horrible.
From the Discworld Emporium website. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, that's the official Discworld
Oh my God.
website.
Do they do
website.
free shipping? Do they do free shipping, international free shipping? I don't
I
think so,
doubt
right?
it.
You have
No,
to
they
order
don't.
from Blackwell's. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the shipping can be expensive. But if you do order from Discworld Emporium, when you get the box, you get little things in it that say it's gone through the Thieves Guild, and you get some Discworld stamps, and yeah,
And
You need to stop. I'm about to buy a bunch of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, should I get online and buy the rest?
Chris
now?
is showing them off. Derry's
to
talking them
help with
up.
that, they're along with the packaging, but like their actual shipping is really quick. Like literally, I
oh yeah,
bought
they're
like
so fast.
the City Watch books on a Sunday. I got them on Thursday.
How many City Watch books are there?
8.
I think there's like
Right.
4, isn't there? 3?
Oh no, there's like 7 or 8, I think.
Okay.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, Ron, you're right. Got to fill that 9th shelf.
Oh, hell yeah. It's the most beautiful of the books.
And there's even figurines.
Oh, and they're so cool. And plushies. Where are we? It's my Death of Rats. Who you
Oh,
met?
Derry,
this is
Derry,
actually
you'd also
really
be
cool.
happy that my audiobook I just started today, Derry, is Proven Guilty. It's up to
Nice.
number 8.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yep. 8 or 9.
Look at you.
I lost
reading all
track,
my
but-
favorite books.
I want
Early Christmas for Derry. Early Christmas.
Yes, I'm having a great kind of half an
I
hour.
want a great Artuin bronze.
Oh, that's great.
You
That
can
is
get
really
some
cool.
lovely
That is neat.
little miniatures of Artwine. It just
Very cool.
Oh, so good. So good. So good.
Wow. Nice.
I'm so
Yeah, I just need to start reading again, and stop playing so many video games. But
I
probably
just
gonna take
need
a
to
little
get out of this irritating slump. 2025, Anita is going to read back on
It'll
form.
be a good one
We
with
can
this.
have to.
If it helps motivate you, I'm going to call you Slumpy Smurf until you tell me that you read 2 books in a week.
Nice.
I understand it. I don't have any, counter for that.
Nope.
I am at the stage.
Yep. And then I'll go back to calling you Grumpy Smurf.
Yeah, fair
Okay, that's
Because I mean
understandable.
that's your avatar on Discord, so I figure you can't have too much of a problem with it. Oh, and we have a special guest
Hey, Fitz.
appearance.
There's Fitz.
Fitzy Fitz.
because you have to.
This
yeah.
wants attention.
How would I piss my cat off other than picking her up and making her look in the camera? She hates it. Don't you hate it?
Tickling her tummy.
Maine Coons are like the golden retriever of the cats, though. They tend to
In
do
what
that.
way?
Ragdolls.
I think they're just
Ragdoll cats.
gentle
Amazing.
giants. I think they're very
Generally,
I think-
yeah.
I mean, my Maine Coon was very affectionate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fitz is totally.
Orange tabbies, in my experience, are like not necessarily golden retrievers in cat form, but just generally the dogs in cat form. Because all the orange tabbies I've had, like they are so like they roughhouse. They will even play fetch. Like they're just very outgoing and boisterous.
They have very good personalities.
They are very dog-like in some ways. They will do a lot of dog-like behavior.
Yeah.
Read this one next, Evie.
Which one?
Weird Sisters.
Okay.
Those are so pretty. I
They're
just.
just so lovely.
I was.
One touch of foil on them.
I was.
It's so lovely.
Yeah. No, I was totally blown away. I've talked about it many times before. I've got this awesome bookshop in Berlin.
Yeah.
And
properly bound with a.
I went in there and I spontaneously thought, oh, actually, I'll pick up a Discworld book. I've heard Derry talking about it. I've heard Raph talking about it. I've heard everybody talking about it. Alan recommended City Watch. I'll pick up Gods. And I went to the shelf and looked. And at first I didn't see it because I was looking for like paperbacks.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, these are nice. And pulled out one of those hardbacks. And I was like, yes, I'm definitely getting these. These are really, really awesome.
And they're paperback sort of size. So they fit on the shelves really nicely.
Exactly.
Those editions, actually, I wanted them before I even started my channel, before I even found Alan's channel, because I saw them in somebody else's channel. They found so good.
Nice.
Now, I don't even just want those books. I want a new shelf. I want a new house for them to fit, actually.
This makes me so happy.
You want a new house for Discworld. Damn you, Terry Pratchett.
That's what Discworld also has one of my favorite familiars or animal companions, in that one of the witches has a cat called Grebo, and he is a battered, warlike Tom that, of course, the witch thinks is just this lovely fluffy kitten that she's always had. She's, oh, this is my baby. Everyone else is like, get that thing away from me, because it frightens bears. And Grebo is wonderful, and he actually gets some really amazing moments throughout the series. And he's another one of my little plushies that I have, but I can't reach him for now. And
Colton has a question for you, Derry.
Going postal or Feet of Clay? If you want to read Feet of Clay, it means you're already in the Watch series, which means it's an absolutely solid choice and has one of the best moments for Fred, because I love Fred. Fred Colin is amazing. And Going Postal is my personal choice to get new readers to read Discworld, because it's a new cast of characters, and it has very modern sensibilities in terms of the themes and the humor. And I just love the fact that the main character is called Moist.
Also, for Feet of Clay, because I have no opinion on Going Postal since I haven't read it yet, but Feet of Clay, you do get introduced to Dorfel, and I freaking love Dorfel.
Dorfel is wonderful. Dorfel has one of the most moving moments in the series, and yeah. And Gaspode is also an amazing animal familiar. Well, kind of, but it doesn't really tend to be a companion.
Colton, I can offer you this. This might actually motivate me to read a little more in the near future. I can offer you a read along, or a buddy read rather. Feet of Clay is also my next City Watch book, and we could read it together. How about that?
Good.
Yeah. There you go. I feel like your decision has been made for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not reading Going Postal. Fuck that.
There are so few things in Discworld that I don't love that it's hard to sort of restrain it.
Really? We haven't noticed, Derry.
Gaspode. I love Gaspode. Gaspode is a talking dog. He got into the rubbish pile behind the university, and some combination of broken spells and thrown away magic made him sentient, and he talks.
He appears in Men at Arms
in the city. Yeah. If a book is set in Ankh-Morpork, there's a pretty good chance you will encounter Gaspode. Yeah. But nobody believes he talks, because dogs don't talk. Dogs don't talk. But when he does talk, you see him go, woof. because he says the word woof to people and they hear it like a dog bark, because dogs don't talk. And I love that. I love that sneaky kind of people hear what they want to hear.
Yeah, Gaspode was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's not in Guards, but he appears in, I think, Men at Arms the
We
first
see him in Men at
time,
Arms.
or
we see
and he
him
is very cool.
And he's marvelous. He actually appears in one of the standalones. He appears in Moving Pictures, which is the take on the sort of the golden age of Hollywood and movie making in general. And if you're familiar at all with Lassie, then Gaspode's storyline in that is particularly amusing. But,
Spoiler alert, Timmy falls down a well at some point.
Really? Did you say Timmy's fallen down a well?
Oh, yeah.
All I heard was woof.
Exactly.
Matt,
I just
it's 3 p.m. here. I got to log in some more work hours. But
Yeah, no worries. It's just past midnight here, so maybe this is
wow.
a good time to wrap up in general, actually, for me as well.
But please pick up some. Wherever you start, it's fine.
It really looks like the two of you are looking at each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, that was neat.
Also, I can ease this side, please. So,
But no,
Cool,
I will
well-
start this year. And TV, I hope everything goes well with Max.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
indeed. We're all praying for him.
We're all making very strong wishes for Max to
Yeah,
be
we hope Max does well.
back home soon.
Yeah.
He's a gorgeous dog.
He is a lovely dog.
Thank
But
you
thanks
all.
for getting me back in front of the camera. It's been a while. So
Yeah, no, I thought I haven't seen you in a while. I wrote a few people like that. Like Theo, I also hit him up. I didn't hear back from him. A few other people. And like my early YouTube or BookTube journey, you were definitely in there, and Theo was very much in there, and other people.
Yeah.
And just haven't seen you in a while. So I thought it'd be cool if you could drop by. It was great that you could make it. Thank you all for making it, because this is really
And
made.
happy birthday.
Happy
More
birthday.
importantly, the whole point of this, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Although it's not really your birthday anymore, it's your birthday tonight, but still.
Now it is 2 minutes past my birthday.
Successfully lapped the sun again.
I am officially fully 56 now. So yeah.
Fair enough.
You've all made my birthday evening wonderful. On a day where I didn't really have anything particular planned. I'm doing stuff with friends soon and probably getting gifts and all of that. But today I was basically just hanging out at home trying to solve annoying technical problems with my gaming channel. But yeah, you guys have really, really made it. This is one of the thing really that I love most about BookTube is awesome people who like to talk about books. So it's been great hanging out with you. Everybody in the chat, same to you. It's been really, really cool seeing you all. I'm still a little overwhelmed and surprised that such a spontaneous stream for my birthday turned out so many people. It's very touching. Thank you all.
Yep, special fruit. We love you.
Same. And have a good rest of your week, and I'll see a lot of you on Sunday in the pub.
Probably.
take care.